Hi everyone, this is Rich and I'm making this video to help you get started with using VLab. Let's start out here. I want to show you, I do have a how-to on the website. So if you go to the website and you go to the calendar, in lesson 3 I put it, how-to 308. That's kind of like the document version of this video if you like reading a document rather than looking at a video. That's where that is. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start out from scratch. We're going to download vCenter.rdp. What that is, it's a little RDP file that tells RDP how to make the connection. RDP is Remote Desktop Protocol. It's something that you find on all Windows computers, and it's an add-in that you have to add an application you have to add to a Mac. So, for example, if you have a Mac, you'll have to install something like Cord to get that RDP functionality. Okay, so let's see. Let me get the website up here again. On the left side of the website, you'll see this VLab RDP file. Just click it. You go to a website, or web page on Opus, okay, and this is the file we're going to download. So I'm using Chrome. So the way you download a file in Chrome is you right-click and say Save Link As. Okay, I'm going to say put it on the desktop so I can find it. Okay. And there it downloaded it, and there it is. It appeared on my desktop. Okay. Let's put this away here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use that little downloaded RDP file to log into VLab using Remote Desktop. And the way you do that is you just double-click. Okay. You go ahead and say Connect. There's a little warning that comes up here, but I know where we're going to, so it's okay. I'm going to say Connect. And I'm going to do this from scratch. I'm going to say use another account. So we want to specify the domain, which is CIS Lab, backspace, and then you can use your Opus username. So I'll use Benji here, which is Simbed90, and your Opus password. Okay, so look at that. CIS Lab is the name of the domain, a backslash, not a forward slash, a backslash, your Opus username, your Opus password. Okay, or if you changed your Opus password, this would be the original password you got when you first started the course that I gave you. Okay, you can see it's starting up something called VMware vSphere Client. All right, it's going to do this remotely on a server at school. And it's another warning. I'm going to say yes, because I know where we're going. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to ignore that certificate warning. And I'm going to wait a little bit. It says connecting. You see the little thing spinning around here. It's doing the connection now. It's connecting to a product called vCenter. It's a vCenter server that we have on one of the servers at school. And once we connect, we're going to get this user interface. All right. So what have we done so far? We've downloaded vCenter.rdp. We've logged into VLab via Remote Desktop. Now what I want to do is I want to change the view that we've got in vCenter to what you're going to do is when you come in here, you're going to see this page, okay? And you're going to have to change the view. What you do is you go to the inventory section up here. You go over here to VMs and templates. Click that, okay? That will bring you to this VM inventory view. And then the little pluses over here, just keep clicking them until there's no more pluses to click on. And you'll see all of our VMs. Okay, so these are all the Arya VMs that I made for everyone. Now we got to select our own VM, right? How do we do that? Back to the website. Okay. And again on the left panel where it says CIS90 VLab VM assignments. Find your first name. Go for Benji here. He got Arya 35. So Arya 35 is his VM to use this term. So let's go down to Arya 35. Da-da-da, there it is. Okay. So we found our own VM. Let's start up the VMware console. Now I can click on the console tab here, okay, and I can see it down, but it's kind of constrained within the. So instead of doing that, I am going to select the Arya 35, and I could either click this little separate console button. It'll say Launch Virtual Machine Console, or I can right-click it, okay, and say Open Console. Both see the icons the same as the one up here, okay. Doesn't matter which way you do it. So I'm going to bring up a console here. All right, and it's a little bit. Oh, is it going to fit? So it fits so far. There's only one account. Your Opus account is not on here, okay? Only the CIS 90 account, which has the password which you all know and love. And you got it when I send out your welcome letter to the class. It's in that password information file. Okay, we'll log in. Okay, and it looks like we're hanging below the bottom. So let me just bring it up a little bit. Let's see if that'll fit here. I'm doing this on my laptop, and I have a small screen. Let's do it a little more here. There, that's good. So there is the Arya 35 out of the list, out of all the different VMs, and here it is. This is actually what you'd see if you had this running on a computer and you're sitting right in front of it, looking at the screen. This is what you'd see. So there's a bunch of buttons over here on the side. There's terminals, there's file cabinets, there's settings. Over here you'll see things like the time, power options. What we're going to do is run some graphical terminals. So in fact, we've logged into the graphical desktop. We've done that, okay. Let's start two graphical terminals. Let's start the first one. So I'll click on terminal, and there comes a terminal, right? Now let's do a who. See how many sessions we've got so far. So there's this :0 means it's the X window screen, which is the desktop. So that's the first thing we logged into. PTS0 must be this terminal. To check, we'll just type TTY, and sure enough, yeah, we're PTS0. So this guy right here is PTS0. Let's bring up another terminal. I'm going to right-click on the white space here and say Open Terminal. Okay, now I got another terminal. Let's do a who on this one now. Now I've got PTS0 and PTS8. Must be, yep, this one's 8. This one's 0, okay, and the desktop is :0. That's the way the X Windows refers to Windows. Let's see here. One thing about these terminals is you can customize the heck out of them. If you right-click and go to Profiles, Profile Preferences, you'll see there's all sorts of things like colors. We can go green on black. We can go gray on black. I like this plain old black on white, okay? But you can do all sorts of stuff with backgrounds and many different choices. All right? So we've got 3 sessions going on here, the desktop that we logged into, and 2 graphical terminals. What next? We're going to start an SSH section, okay? Here is Benji. He's over here on Opus. Let's just check that. Host name. Yep. OS Lab is the formal name for Opus on the internet. Let's SSH into our Arya. SSH. I don't need to specify a port because I'm using port 22 in the Aryas. That's a standard port and that's the default. So I could put -P22, but I don't need to because that's the default. It will use 22 if you don't specify the port. Now I gotta say the username I'm going to log in as. I've only got the CIS 90 user, that's it. So CIS 90 user at Arya 35. Alright? Put in the password. This is not Benji's password, this is the CIS 90 password. And what do you say we do a who? Look at that. There's the desktop, there's our 2 graphical terminals, and here is our SSH session. Notice how um, this session shows that it's remotely logged in from Opus. So this says that this particular user logged in from, this CIS-90 user logged in from Opus. These are all local. Okay, these are local on the Arya itself. All right, now let's do some virtual terminals. This is kind of wild, but if you ever get stuck on a Linux or Unix system and you just can't get, something might be frozen up, an app might be frozen or something on the desktop, and you just need to get to the operating system, what you do is on in VMware and vCenter, what I need to do is I hold down the Control, Windows, and Alt keys. I tap the space bar, and I'm going to tap F2, that's function key 2, to go to the second TTY. All right, that's the second virtual terminal. Now, normally what you do is you just press Control and Alt and the function key. But with VMware, they had to do something a little bit different because the Control and Alt key is used to tell VMware that to release the mouse from the VM and give it back to the host computer. So we use Control, Windows, Alt. Those are the three keys on the lower left corner of the keyboard. Let's log in. CIS-90, our favorite password. Okay, let's do a who. So notice now, up at the top, our first session there is TTY2. Okay, it's the one that was logged in last, and you can see that in the second column it says TTY2. All right, let's open up another virtual terminal, TTY5. I'm going to hold down the Control, Windows, Alt keys, tap the spacebar, tap the function 5 key, F5. Okay, now notice that I'm in TTY5. Let's log in. Okay, let's type TTY. TTY5, let's do a who. Notice now we have two virtual terminals logged in at 1805 and 1806 on 915. We have one login to the graphical desktop. That was done at 1759. And then we have two graphical terminals, PTS0, PTS8, both on that graphical desktop. And then we have one SSH login from Opus on terminal PTS21. All right, now whatever we got here, we started up some virtual terminal sessions. Let's log out of all the sessions except for the desktop now. So I'm going to exit out of this one. Okay, I'm going to go to TTY2. Okay, I'm going to exit out of that one. Now how do I get back to the graphics session? I'm going to go Control, Windows, Alt, spacebar, F7. F7 in Ubuntu is the graphical desktop. If I type who now, we should have a few. We only have our two graphical terminals, our desktop and our Opus login. Let's go to our Opus login and log out. So we'll say exit. All right. Let's do another who. We'll see that there's no longer a session from Opus. Let's exit this session. Okay. Let's do one last who here. Down to just two sessions. Let's exit this one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to turn the computer off. What you do is you go over here to this icon. And you say shutdown. Okay. And we'll say yes, go ahead and do a full shutdown. And just like a regular computer, this virtual machine is going to shut down. Okay. And just like a regular computer, you can turn it back on again, but you got to turn it on by using the power switch. So it is off right now. Okay. Click off that little message there. If I want to turn it back on, notice how Arya 35 doesn't have a green triangle anymore. That's because it's powered off. You can see it's got a power on icon here. I can basically power it back on again if I want to, which is what I'm going to do in fact. Let's do it. there's a million different ways to turn on your VM. One thing is to select it, click the green triangle. Okay. Another one is to select it, scroll down, and click the power on. Okay. Another way is to right-click, power on. All does the same thing. It's basically like it's like pushing the power on switch on your computer. Let's click it. I just hit it. All right, let's watch it boot up here. There you can see Ubuntu booting up. Doesn't take long. There we go. That's how long it takes a Linux virtual machine to boot up. So there we have it. We've powered off the VM. We've powered it back on again. And that's it for this video. I'm going to stop it here, and I'll see you all in class.